Let's build a fictional world inspired by real-life things. For this series, I'll be referencing the encyclopedias in my home library. They are collecting dust, but they contain a wealth of information as well as a sense of randomness. I haven't read these in a while, so I'll be learning these things with you. Here's the table of contents. I'll go through this list randomly, but we will cover everything. We may not be able to cover everything at once, but it's okay. I'd like to divide everything by seasons and episodes, just like my favorite TV shows. Each book or volume is a season, each learning session an episode. I'm excited. Let's begin.
5 minutes. Association football. Association football, also called soccer, is the most popular spectator sport in the world. Hundreds of thousands of professional and amateur players take part in school and club games. Millions more enjoy kicking a ball about or just going along to support their local club on a Saturday afternoon. A game of soccer is played between two teams of 11 players each. The idea of the game is to kick or head the ball through the other team's goal. Some form of the game has been played for 2,000 years. The ancient Greeks played a kicking game with an air-filled ball called a phallus. It is thought that the Romans brought the game to England in the 1st century AD. In the Middle Ages, several towns and villages in Britain played football. Foot with an E and the N, and ball with an E. So several towns and villages in Britain played football games in the streets, especially on Shrove Tuesday. The Drapers of Chester kicked a ball between two of the main buildings of the city. At Alnwick in Northumberland, as they did long ago, up to 150 players on each side still fight to put the ball through goals a quarter of a mile apart. At Midlothian in Scotland, the spinsters used to play the married women on Shrove Tuesdays. In these early times, play was very rough and there were few rules. By 1800, special pitches were marked out for football. The game became more like modern football as school and university teams began to play under agreed rules. In 1848, some of the schools drew up the first set of laws. A much more important step was made in 1863 when several clubs founded the Football Association. 8 years later, the FA Challenge Club competition began. At this time, teams had 11 men, but the way they played was quite different from the way we play today. A goalkeeper, a fullback, a halfback, and 8 forwards made up a team. The forwards all rushed forward together, pushing aside the other team, including the goalkeeper. It was not until 1891 that a rule was made to protect the goalkeeper from being knocked aside. In 1888, the Football League was formed with 12 founder members. In 1889, the Scottish League was founded, and the following year, the Irish League. Association football clubs were also started in Australia and New Zealand in the 1880s. The Football League grew steadily. By 1922, there was a First Division, a Second Division, a Third Division North, and Third Division South. There were 88 clubs in the Football League, and football was slowly becoming big business. Clubs bought and sold players for more and more money. Today, top-class players receive over 100. The first match between two countries was in 1872 with England playing Scotland. Ever since then, there has been great rivalry between soccer-playing nations. Soccer first became an Olympic event in 1908. About many European countries formed football associations. The game also became very popular in South America. In 1904, the Fédération Internationale de Football Association, or FIFA, was founded, and it now has more than 140 members. In 1930, Jules Rimet The French president of FIFA presented a cup for international competition. The World Cup was quickly recognized as the World Championship of Soccer. Its final stages are held every 4 years in different countries. And that is for the history of football. Next, probably next time, we are going to tackle about the field, players and equipment, and the officials. Now go and convert what we've just learned into a story, or a world first, a fictional world, and then perhaps later make it into an actual story.
Now, if I create a world where humans watch football, it will essentially be Earth. Let's make something fantastical, so from this point forward, let's go wild. I'm thinking about ghosts. None of the ghosts play the sport at all because they're all just spectators. These ghosts are born every full moon in a wide area of land resembling a soccer field. They materialize into the air as adults. But this is just their physical form. They still need to undergo mental and emotional development. For example, we have a ghost named Menio. He materializes in the middle of a football field with the physical features of, let's say, Henry Cavill, because why not? Let's name this man Menio. For 5 years, Menio does nothing but sleep, cry, play and eat. From ages 6-10 they begin to speak, question things, explore and soak in as much information as possible. Ages 11-15 they start to act with intense emotions as they learn how to socialize, blend in society. Spectators of this age are prone to act out of emotions, sometimes violently, destroying things and hating everyone and everything. Then by the age of 16-20, they begin to settle down into adulthood. Once in a while, a ghost is born with a glowing halo that surround their body. These unique ghosts are granted access to a school called Prime Institution for Professionals and Amateurs, or PIPA. Only those admitted to PIPA are allowed to play football. The rest of the ghosts are only allowed to enjoy kicking ball for leisure, or just supporting their local team on a Saturday afternoon. PIPA students are ranked based on school performance. What do these special ghosts learn? Warfare, tavern games, and of course, football. The top 22 brightest stars of the batch are pitted against each other. The losing team lose their glow. That means they are expelled from PIPA, revocation of football rights. The winners of every PIPA Cup are given the opportunity to achieve their goals. The glowing spectators might seem more privileged than the non-glowing ones. In truth, they are somewhat miserable. Those who aren't part of the top 22 repeat the entire duration of their education. The ghosts have existed for around 2000 years. Currently, there are 153 spectators, and before football, the ancient ghosts did not have much to do. They simply drifted about in a meaningless world, until 50 glowing ghosts were born on the 50th year. The first thing these 22 ghosts did was summon an airfield game, and played the first ever football game. The first 11 winners wished their way into the establishment of PIPA. The 11 wishes were: 1. To create gigantic structure to keep the glowing ghosts safe. 2. To continue the tradition of football among the glowing ghosts. 3. To maintain the culture of competition. 4. To name the school Prime Institution for Professionals and Amateurs. 5. To learn about warfare. 6. To include tavern games in their curriculum. 7. Only PIPA members can play football. 8. Losers must lose their PIPA membership. 9. But we must protect the glowing ghosts, therefore only the top 22 of the school can compete in football. 10. I wish for mercy to the glowing ones who have lost their shimmer. They shall become the Follies, a group sworn to facilitate our football games, serve as our school administrators, and become a police force dedicated to the glowing ghosts. 11. Someday, we will figure out why are we the way we are. All of these wishes have been granted except the last one. For this reason, the next generations of PIPA winners must state clear, specific goals. We have all these things, but we failed to create the world itself. I'll be focusing on this aspect from now on. So the world of the spectators and glowing ghosts is not as huge as our world. Their world is a total of 700 square kilometers. A series of island chains separate the spectators from each other. However, all of them originated from the largest island called Mansur. The other islands are Erfu, Nosen, Gatma, Larst, Atum, Nubri, Diffin. All of the islands experience warm and humid climates, and so the spectators' way of life largely involved beating the heat and preparing for rain. The spectators have a lifespan of 50 years. Only several towns and villages practice some form of agriculture, for these places are the only areas in the world where there is breathing, meaning the capacity to grow life. This is vital to the entire world of the spectators, because the ghosts maintain a diet of withering flowers, animal bones, and really old rocks. Since they thrive on death, they largely depend on these breathing towns and villages for food. A huge portion of the world remains unexplored, for the spectators' lives revolve around Pipa, the shenanigans of its students, growing younger ghosts, feeding themselves, and adapting to the weather. They build their homes on the islands closest to Mansur. It is said that the reason why the 7 islands exist is because they are handled by the first follies, the first losers from the very first football game ever. They have a popular holiday called Cherovish Day in memory of that significant day, when the first 11 wishes to find their world. The next wishes after that were focused on making life better. We've now reached the limit for this video. Please refer to my other channel, Katon Creativity Initiative, for the full world building series. Thanks for tuning in. Stay curious, keep learning. Beyond the chaos and craziness, the world is a beautiful place.